Hello and welcome to Whiskey Resource. My name is Mark and this is review number 87 from here in the shed. So review 87, I want to continue on with looking at whiskies that I'd recommend that could make a good Christmas present or even a Christmas gift to yourself for a whiskey to add to your bar. Something that's a classic, really good, a tasty dram that's usually really well priced as well. So the whiskey in mind is this. It is the Glenfiddich 15-year-old, bottled to 40% ABV. It is chill filtered and it has had added colour. Of course, it comes from Grants. It is Solera cask bottling. That is a process by which they move whiskey between different barrels and topping up. Those barrels in this case are European sherry casks and new oak. So this is a sherry influenced whiskey. So a little pour. That bottle can go back up on the shelf there. So this retails for just over £40 online. However, this time of year you can pick it up at substantial discounts. At the moment, I believe somewhere like Sainsbury's is selling it for £35. Of course, if you take part in the Nectar scheme, you can redeem some of your Nectar points against that to drop the price. It is quite heavily discounted at other supermarkets as well. Shop around because I have seen this for below £30. Of course, I reviewed the 12-year-old not long ago, so you can go check that video out. And the 12-year-old is another one of these whiskies that you can't really go wrong with. Hardened whiskey enthusiasts would enjoy a dram of a Glenfiddich, be it the 12 or the 15. And people who are new to whiskey as well, if you're not sure what kind of a whiskey to buy, you can't go wrong with a Glenfiddich. They're not at all offensive, they don't have any harsh flavours to them, they're not peated or smoked. They're a really good example of just a classic tasty dram. On the nose, we're getting those sherry spices, apples and pears. It's just more of a mature version of the 12-year-old, but with that Solera influence coming from different casks. It's fruity, it's spicy, it's sweet. It's just lovely, lovely nose. But on the palate, the spices dominate more on the 15-year-old than they do on the 12. The 12 is more fruit forward, whereas I think with the 15-year-old it's more of that sherry spice driven. There's a bit more oak influence coming through, a bit more bitterness on the finish, a little bit more drying. But give it time and those fruits start making an appearance. And you are talking mainly apple, a bit of spiced pear. Then you get some subtle fruit from fruitcake, so a little bit of cherry and a little bit of sultana and maybe raisin. Bit of date as well I'm getting. There's some sawdust notes coming through as well. The textures, probably a little bit on the watery side compared to a nice syrupy feel that you would normally get with a sherried whiskey. I wouldn't put water in this. The 40% is a nice strength. Yes, it could do with being a bit stronger, but it's not too harsh on the palate. The strength, it's not burning. It's not, being dominant. It's just there in the background, reminding you it's alcoholic, without pushing you. So you don't need water, I don't think. But if it's a bit too much, of course you can add water to it. I think I prefer the 12, personally, to this. But it's still a very nice drink. And for £35 at the moment, for a 15-year-old, I don't think you're going to find many 15-year-old whiskies for that price. And it comes with the solid batching that the Grants do. I mean, you can pick up a 15-year-old today and then pick up another bottle in 2 years' time, and they'll be almost identical. Pick one up 3 years ago, and it'll be very similar. They're very consistent, so you can't go wrong with them. Which is why I recommend that Glenfiddich 15-year-old, or even the 12, be a whiskey to consider. Thank you.